This is Beverly Hills. Let me finish.
Let me finish.
Beverly Hills Teens. A show you probably never heard of, but I promise this chaos of a show is one of the best. Mostly because it's right here on YouTube. Did I watch this on YouTube? No, but it's here. What? The show first aired on September 21st, 1987, and was developed by Jack Olesker, Michael Milani, and Barry O'Brien. The series was created as a response to more violent series aimed at children at the time. I even have quotes from president of the Access Syndicate, Richard Colbert. Children's programming these days is dominated by neo-militaristic boy toy animation, where the Tom and Jerry's, the Flintstones, are rich characters for children to nurture and develop and identify with. The shows he cited as neo-militaristic boy toy animations were The Silverhawks, Thundercats, and G.I. Joe, which were popular 80-minute series at the time and maybe now. I don't know. When questioned whether money-happy teens residing in Beverly Hills would be the best example for children, Colbert said, well, they may be rather more wealthy than most teenagers, but they have typical teenagers' problems, and the important thing is they are fully realized personalities. If you watch the show, maybe you agree with this statement, maybe you don't. The show was traditionally animated using cell animation, and for a time you could buy them along with some other character turnarounds on eBay. I don't know if you can now, but you could. For the most part, I say the creators did a damn good job at it because the show is very addicting. Now let's get into some notable episodes. There is only one season of the show, but before you get worried, it has 65 episodes. Episodes usually have one character center focus as the protagonist. Usually it's Lark, and another as the antagonist. Usually it's Pierce or Bianca. At the end of the episode, the antagonist is punished in some way, sometimes justified, others.
I guess Bianca and Pierce decided not to come after all.
I wonder what made them change their minds.
This is all your fault. I could have been dining with royalty.
Instead, I'm stuck with a royal pain.
Sometimes it's very not justified, but we'll get into that later. The first 3 episodes, while not as rambunctious as later in the season, do an incredible job at establishing the characters and their dynamics with each other. More on that later.
We now join the following program already in progress.
Surfing contest at the Teen Club Beach. This ought to be good.
Well, Lucius, I'm waiting.
Oh, sorry.
These are my friends, the Beverly Hills Teens. We're the most outrageous, glamorous, and fun-loving group you'll ever meet. Join the fun with the Beverly Hills Teens.
Today at 8:30.
The first episode, Double Surfing Double Cross, is obviously a surfing competition, which I found boring, but that's because I've watched this series multiple times over, so I'm quite biased. The main focus of this episode is Pierce and Bianca, which is very common throughout the series. But Pierce wants to impress Lark after finding out his celebrity date has a pimple. He ropes in poor Chester in his plans to make a robot shark to defeat and impress Lark. When they get to the fake beach though, Pierce ends up fighting a real shark, which doesn't make sense because that would mean someone would have to literally place it in there because it's a fake beach. But don't worry though, Pierce runs for his life and he's A-okay with a minor concussion. Our girl Lark defeats the robot with a boot to the nose, which I think the tire's supposed to do. I don't know, I'm not an anime expert. And let's roll it back a couple of minutes. Bianca, on the other hand, wants to get back at Lark because Troy chose her as her surfing partner. Yeah. The strangest thing is she doesn't do anything throughout the episodes that get more mad. I mean, she does curse Tiara. Not curse her out, but like place a curse. Not place a curse.
My bathing suit. It's ruined. And so is my hair.
I'm sorry, Bianca. It's just that Tiara's so high-strung.
Too bad she's not strung on a violin.
Tiara is Lark's cat. It isn't until towards the end of the episode she decides to take action after destroying Wilfer's beautiful castle. How dare you?
The others were right. You're nothing but a homewrecker.
Wilshire, who is Bianca's chauffeur, fully sends it on the simp ratio for this episode. Bianca decides to turn up the waves to be massive, like half a tsunami massive, but still decides to stay on the beach, which is weird because the water is coming right towards you, girl. Her punishment for this episode is getting soaked and being congratulated for helping Lark and Troy win, which definitely should have gone to Ratley and Blake for their horseback surfing, but to each their own. Side note, this first episode reminded me how much I don't like Jet. I am her #1 hater and I do not care what anyone has to say. Moving on. The second episode, The Dog Ate My Homework, is a Cinderella retelling. You wouldn't know that from the title though. Lark is the center of this episode, which makes sense as she's the protagonist of this entire series. Bianca is the step-sibling who stopped Cinderella from attending the ball by sending her dog to eat her homework, which was stupid, by the way. As Empress, the dog was barking and Lark still believed her cat did it. Like, did you not hear the dog barking down the hallway? Whatever. Bianca also makes another quip about killing Lark's cat.
Bianca, are you all right?
I was, until that cat of yours showed up to tease my precious Empress.
Tiara? Why, she's as sweet as sugar.
I guess that's why I'd like to dip her in a pot of hot tea.
Moving on. I don't know why they're friends with her, but like we are. Chester is the fairy godmother who helps Lark deliver her homework.
Detention is even worse than they say. They're beating her.
And Chester makes her a dress with his invention. So he wasn't opposed to breaking in and taking one from the store. Just to note, he wasn't opposed to it. He also had a pumpkin car on standby for some reason. He has it and he takes her to the ball. The twist in this story is that Lark has to be there before midnight, not after. For the ball, Troy was automatically voted king and someone has to be voted queen. And that's what Bianca wanted. That's why she tried to stop Lark from getting to the ball. But everyone lives happily ever after as Lark gets the most votes and Bianca only gets one, which is from herself. Which she calls out Wilshire for because he's usually the simp that does everything he says. But he says everything she says. This episode was alright. The outfits were amazing though. Some of them. Not all of them. Some of them. Where's episode 3? I remember watching episode 3. But I didn't write it down, so we're just going to continue on. Episode 5, the one I remember the most. The 5th episode, Robot Romance, was something I had a fondness for, but it might be because my nostalgia glasses are finally fading out, because it wasn't as good as I remember. It starts off with all the members hanging by the pool, as Chester is upset because he won't be able to get a date for Chanel's party. Riley comes down in his helicopter surfboard thing, and everyone's happy to see him except Pierce.
What a bummer. I ran out of gas at 12,000 feet.
Goodness, how awful. You might have been killed.
Then we'd be even for what he did to my hair.
Chester goes to his lab upset. He gets the idea to make a date of his own, who's going to be 17 for some reason. It looks a lot like Lark. Maybe that's just the, blonde hair, blue eyes. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. He names his robot Roberta, which is very on the nose, Chester. I expected more from the boy genius. He gives her a max affection and loyalty, which will backfire later on in the episode. Chester and his new date go out for a ride and bump into Ratley, Troy, and Pierce driving the Teen Club limo. This is where Pierce gets the idea to try and steal Chester's date. Why? I don't know. This was also the moment teenage me was like, yeah, he's got it. Pierce calls Nikki saying he can't go to the dance with her because he's sick. Cough, cough, sneeze, sneeze.
What I planned to do. See you later. If I live.
Wow. And I thought I was melodramatic.
Pierce, you sly devil, how could you do such a thing? It's easy when you have no conscience.
At the dance, Roberta is the center of attention. She makes everyone jealous except for Lark, and I have to include the scene of Ratley dancing with Blake as it's hilarious.
Come on, Blake! Let's boogie down! Surfing style!
You mean like this?
Hey, you're pretty good!
That's really weird, because I don't even know what I'm doing.
Meanwhile, Pierce sits off Chester's burger alarm to get with Roberta. By the time Chester makes it back to his house, he figures out what Pierce has planned. And because of his loyalty system he gave Roberta, he loses. Sad. Nikki figures out that she got stewed up after trying to deliver some chicken soup to Pierce. She arrives at the spring fling dance and dumps the soup on his head, Medea style. The soup gets on Roberta and she starts the short circuit, fall apart. With Roberta gone and Pierce covered in chicken soup, Nikki and Chester decide to be each other's date. And they dance. Here's your warning.
You heard the lady. Let's
and a 1, and a 2, and a...
You know something, Nikki? You're more my speed anyway. Not my height, but my speed.
Geniuses. Fooey.
You mind, big guy? We're all out of potato chips. Very tasty.
I don't want to go through all the episodes since I think that'll be really boring. I just think it'll be boring and I just don't want to do that. But episode 10, Riley Wipes Out, is an important to me, I think, because I think it ties into the crossover episode with another series. And we'll get to that later. It starts off with Chester pissing off a robot because of his, what's the word? Something. I don't know. He can't choose an ice cream flavor, basically.
You can be reprogrammed, you know.
Troy and Lark are watching Ratley surf in the fake ocean as Bianca and Wilshire walk past. Chester ups the waves to help Ratley practice for the surf competition. Pierce on his motorized surfboard reminds Lark about his pre-surfing championship party, complete with a mystery on it. But the person gets crowned Queen and King, what gives Bianca the idea to rig it to get with Troy, which is why she tasks Wilshire when following around Pierce to get the answers. Switchboard rides up on her motorbike with super important information for Ratley that is super top secret, and that's why she uses a megaphone to tell him. Point is, if Ratley flunks another history test, he can't compete in the competition. Lark tries to help him with studying, but he's a himbo who only has surfing on his mind and runs away every time. Lark and Chanel even gave away all 47 of Ratley's surfboards to charity, I think. Chanel comes up with the idea to use Pierce's mystery club party to help Ratley study American history. Despite Bianca setting up traps to stop the others, like hiding the mailbox and putting tacks to pop the tires, in the end though, Ratley is the winner and him and Bianca become Queen and King. Now on to the crossover. The crossovers with the show Maxie's World, and I'm going to read the description because I could not be bothered to watch the entire show. It was only 17 episodes. Maxie is a straight A student cheerleader and a surfer girl who goes to Surfside High School in California. In addition to her life as a typical teenager, she hosts her own TV show and investigates mysteries with her friends. Well, I've saw online that people call it a bootleg Barbie, which I guess, I don't know, I didn't watch the show. Get it out of the way, I kind of lied to you, but I kind of didn't, because Ratley does not appear in this crossover for some reason. I don't know what the title episode was for, but he doesn't appear. The only people who appear are Wilshire, Lark, Troy, and Bianca. They don't look the same, they have recolors, and I get confused with the Maxie's World cast. They just look really, really weird. The crossover is 12B, so it's the second story of the 12th episode of Maxie's World. It starts off with Wilshire flying in a blonde Bianca, and they're in a helicopter, and then it cuts to Maxie talking to her camera with their ass if they're ready for the competition. Jerry, this girl here, gets annoyed that everyone is talking about Maxie. Troy and Lark appear on jet skis, and you know it's them since their theme song starts playing. Wilshire and Bianca land down on the beach with this guy saying how they know how to make an entrance, but they're going to lose anyway. He interviews Jerry, but as he continues walking with his mic, Cord trips Maxie, making her spill a drink all over Jerry. Jerry plans to embarrass Maxie because of this, making sure everyone laughs at Maxie even though no one was laughing at her. She still changes her outfit though, even though she was wearing a bathing suit. The first event is soccer. Jerry trips up Maxie, leaving the Beverly Hills Teens with an opening causing them to win the game. But Bianca, she sustains an injury and it's a broken nail. The next game is a volleyball match where Maxie and her friends win because this guy hits it with his head, which I don't know if that's how it works, but they win. The next game is egg grab, where they try to pick up as many eggs without breaking while on a trampoline. Troy comes over and asks Troy comes over and asks Jerry if he's Bianca's cousin. Jerry does not answer the question, and she just jumps on the trampoline to launch Maxie off onto the ground, breaking all her eggs, leaving the Beverly Hills Teens to win. The last competition is the chicken fight, where Jerry gets annoyed that everyone is saying she's helping the other team win the competition. So Jerry ends up helping Maxie, who ends up getting herself caught and losing the game. In a 2v1, Maxie wins because she ducked down, and it's her show, so she can't win. And everyone just laughs, and that's it. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm going really fast through this episode, but it was pretty boring. Then again, Max's world was itself pretty boring. This crossover was meant to get more views from Max's world, but in the end, the show still ended up getting canceled with 17 episodes. Now I'm just gonna skip to the end of Beverly Hills Teens. It's not a lot of episodes, but I just don't want to go through a lot of episodes. Sorry. The last episode of Beverly Hills Teens is a 2-part special. Episode 64 and episode 65, The Miracle at the Teen Club. It's a Christmas story retelling. You know, the one where Scrooge has been hammered in many times before. Starts off with Lark, Switchboard, Bianca, Pierce, and Buck sitting around the pool with Pierce complaining that it's freezing because it's below 80 degrees. They start talking about how they don't feel the Christmas spirit, and Bianca says they will just have to wait until they get their presents and then they'll feel it. Lark leaves, saying they should do something other and give each other presents to bring back the old Christmas spirit. Buck gets the idea to throw an old themed Christmas party at the cabin on the mountain. Why do they have a mountain? I don't know. They're rich, so they can have whatever they want. They all start imagining this crazy Christmas party.
Sleigh rides, Santa, the world's biggest Christmas tree. Yule log blazing on the hearth, Christmas pudding, roast goose with all the trimmings, poinsettias, and holly all over.
Don't forget the mistletoe.
And outside singing, the Morbin Tiggernacle, the Vienna Boys Choir, and Santa himself shows up to help us pick out our presents by video.
And Buck starts calculating on he's going to cut some costs. And he cuts costs. Buck's plans start to go awry when Switchboard and their cars they're driving. He says that the guest list has dropped from over 100 to 6 people. As Troy and Lark are going caroling and holding a charity event to give toys to needy children. The 6 guests are Ratley, Pierce, Bianca, Nikki, Switchboard, and Wilshire. Wilshire is the one pushing the sled up the mountain despite them having horses. Blaze's horses, by the way.
Go harder, Wilshire. I have to get to this Christmas Eve party before New Year's.
When Blaze finds out Buck borrowed her horses, she'll lasso and hog tie him. I can't wait to tell her.
Buck says it's an exclusive party as no one is there. Switchboard does break the news that no one else came because they were with Lark and Troy, and the only reason she came was to get their reaction for the news. Not her. For her, what's it called? For her the news station thing. And everyone starts to turn on Buck. Just when Jillian is Pierce's younger sister, arrived because Jillian wants to crash the party. But Chester just wanted to go caroling with Lark and Troy, but Jillian blackmailed him into coming along. When everyone was getting up on Buck, the kids come inside. Chester tries to warn Buck about his faulty snow machine, but Buck covers his mouth so no one else can hear it. Unfortunately, right after, the snow machine breaks, leaving them trapped waiting for help as the horses run down the mountain. Buck says they can wait until the battery runs down, which will take a few days, and they all get mad because they're going to miss Christmas. When the power goes out, they gather around the fire to tell the kids a story, which they choose a Christmas Carol, with them representing each of the characters. And they keep stopping because they keep finding each other how the story's going to go.
Buy me a Stetson or a fedora.
But Troy spent all day looking for it. He's so sweet.
Suckers usually are sweet. Hey. If you ain't got the dough, no ho ho ho. That's my motto. Anyway, I'm out of here.
You know how the story goes. 3 spirits of Christmas, past, present, and future, show up in front of Scrooge, showcasing his life and the negative parts if he doesn't change his way.
Why, that ungrateful whale?
The whale didn't throw that. Your former friends are at the gate.
What do you mean, former friends?
Come on out, Scrooge. We've had it with you. We want Scrooge.
You're in a nasty mood. Good thing they can't see me.
Who says they can't see you?
You did, didn't you?
Not me. That's how the other ghosts do it. With me, they can see you.
By the end of the story, Scrooge turns into a kinder and more gentler man. Gentler. Scrooge turns into a kinder man. The story is told through the second half of part 1 and the beginning half of part 2, but it cuts in between. In the second half of part 2, Buck wakes up as he fell asleep while Nikki was telling her edition of the story. Buck goes around confusing everyone with the story's character, and he goes to pick up a shovel and decides to dig them out of the snow. Mark and Troy come to save them after seeing Blaze's horses come back. Their words, not mine. Buck asks if they can join in their caroling, and Lork says, of course. So they join him in caroling and giving toys to the orphanage kids. Buck writes a check to the orphanage and tells the head leader person to keep it a secret between them. He goes to staying next to a tree with tears coming down his face.
Troll the ancient Yuletide carol.
La 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 la.
And that's how Beverly Hills Teens ended.
We'll be right back.
That's wild.
Now back to our show. Yes!
I moved on to the characters. The characters had different names from when they were originally pitched, and I will tell you them as we rank them. Why are we ranking them? Because it's fun. This is my video, so I can do whatever I want. According to the pitch Bible, partially uploaded on Tumblr by user Bianca Boudoir. The name is up here if I said that wrong. And yes, I am a Tumblr girly. The main characters of the show are Lark, Troy, Bianca, and Harris. With how many episodes focused on that makes sense. Before we get officially started, let me explain the rankings. You could be my it girl / boy loving to be a crime is for characters who do awful things and can't help but love them anyway. Sugar, Spice, and Everything Nice is just a well-rounded character that adds something interesting to the episode. Plain Banana out of the Spice is for characters that are NPCs, are only there for plot reasons or like no reasons, but like have a little fun moment. The plot indicators for characters I don't like and don't have a strong reason as to why I don't like them. That's pretty much it. I just don't like them. No words are for characters that rarely appear in the show, and I don't have a solid opinion about them, but it doesn't mean they're bad. I just have a good opinion about them. First is the titular Lark Tanner, originally named Chrissy. You might think that she's just another Barbie-esque protagonist, and for the most part she kinda is, but she is petty. We love a petty girl. Like in episode 12, Halloween in the Hills.
Happy Halloween, guys.
With all this California sunshine, it's hard to believe it's Halloween.
It's suddenly beginning to feel like Halloween to me. Because here comes our first witch.
Where she matches Bianca's outfit even when Bianca goes out shopping for new ones, and she wins the contest in her water-drenched Halloween costume. Then Bianca kicks them all out. At first I thought that was really mean, but after remembering how she tried to critically injure her in episode 9, Downhill Racer, just doing the snow queen competition, and how Bianca tries to steal her man every other episode, I think it's fair. I think it's pretty fair. She also has some snide remarks, especially when people are acting ridiculous.
Well, sure. You don't really expect me to step in that puddle, do you?
Of course not, my precious.
I like it. I'll bet no one would do that for you, Lark. That's so true, Bianca. Because I wouldn't want them to. If you haven't tried it, don't knock it. Poor Bianca, I feel so sorry for her.
For her? What about that overstuffed lummox in the puddle?
She knows what she's doing, and she will do it with a smile. Because of that, I will put her in Sugar and Spice. Oops, not that one. Sugar and Spice, Everything Nice. Next is Troy Jeffries. A lot of people assume he's the Gary Stew to the Mary Stew. Well, technically they aren't wrong. Nothing bad actually happens to him, as he's usually the object of affection, even though he makes it very, very, very clear he only has eyes for Lark. Usually he's the voice of reason in the group, and I say usually because sometimes he goes along with everyone else's toxic behavior. Like in episode 42, Exploding Image, where he silently agrees with everyone that Pierce deserves to suffer based on what his clone did, even though they look nothing alike.
Ew! What an interesting artifact.
and Bianca's standing there Bianca's like standing right behind him and she's literally trying to kill people. So like Pierce is not that bad. I was gonna put him in plain banana, but after rewatching that episode, he's in the pot in the kettle. I'm not apologizing, he's in the pot in the kettle. Bianca's original name was Raven, most likely because of her dark hair. Besides that, Bianca's a bully who will go to the extremes. I've already talked about the Snow Queen incident, but in episode 27, Nothing But Gossip, she tries to drown Blake over a fake voice recording, saying that the new boy wouldn't be interested in her because of her bad attitude.
So what's the problem?
The problem is, he hates Bianca. He said he's seen warmer hearts on frozen artichokes. Oh dear, that is a problem. I just hope Bianca doesn't blame me for it.
Bianca blamed Blake? That can be arranged.
She did, because she tries to drown Blake, so it's true. Another thing about Bianca is that if you want something, she wants it. And if you don't want it, she'll make you want it just so she can take it away from you.
What I want is really very small. I want it all. That's all.
In episode 4, My Fair Wheelchair, someone only wants wheelchair after Tara and Lark show interest and immediately reverts back to her old ways once that interest is gone.
How would you like to swallow this microphone?
Or in episode 42 of Diet Please, where she tries to fatten up Tara just because she can't enter the same beauty pageant as her. And in episode 36, Pierce's $100, where Pierce is trying to save $100 to prove something to his dad. I forgot what, but he's trying to prove to his dad, and she forces him to spend it. When he does the right thing by getting a refund on the concert tickets that she forced him to buy. Basically, she says, you don't have to go to the concert, you can just go out with me. And he agrees, and he goes get his refund back. But when it's time for a date, she just walks off laughing in his face, drives to the concert with everyone else. Not everyone else, but like a couple of people. With all of this, you might be thinking I'm gonna rank her low. I'm gonna put her in Loving You Should Be a Crime, because without her, episodes just won't be fun. You can't really feel all that bad for her when things go wrong, because it's just karma working overtime for everything, single bad thing she's done. Pierce was originally Monty Thorndyke III, I think the third, and I'm glad they changed his name as I kept picturing Monty from Ruby and Banaf, the little gator boy. Either way, Pierce is my little baby, and my rose-colored classes are set to max settings, and I'm not sorry. Pierce is supposed to be the playboy, but I don't know about that, as he doesn't pull like any girls, like at all. He can be a bit extreme, like in episode 37, Look Deep Into My Eyes, or reading Bianca's Diary in episode 57, Bianca's Diary. But one thing he is loyal. He's a loyal hoe, okay? He might make a few quips here and there. He genuinely seems to care for his friends, even if they don't show the same care and respect towards him. I'm putting him in Fit Boy above Bianca, because I can. And yes, I did choose all these images, and you can see how much I like or dislike a character based on the images I put up. I'm not sorry. The next few are listed as supporting characters, so I'm just going to try to go through them a bit quicker. Wilshire wasn't originally in the pitch Bibles from what I saw, which wasn't a lot, so most likely he got added on later on. A lot of people seem to confuse him for an adult crushing on a teenager because he's built like a gorilla and he's Bianca's chauffeur. But he's a teen just like the rest of them in the teen club. I love his dynamic with Bianca because he does genuinely love Bianca despite everything she does to him, good or bad.
Wait, Wilshire, if you chase her, you've lost her forever.
I don't care. That new Bianca isn't the girl I've been crazy about anyway.
I know. I think I like the new one better.
Well, I don't. And I'm not too crazy about the new me either.
Why not, man? You've never been cooler.
Maybe. But now I have to worry about making mistakes.
You always used to make mistakes before.
Yeah, but I never worried about them. I want the old me back. And I want the old Bianca, too.
But he isn't a simp all the time. There are things he's interested in other than her. He isn't afraid to stand up for what he believes in. So I'm gonna put him in... Where is he? He's right here. We'll put him in Sugar and Spice, Everything Nice, because he's just a little goofball. How can you really hate him? CAD, C-A-D, I forgot what it stood for, is Pierce's robot phone thing that he loves more than anything in the world. CAD is always trying his best to steer Pierce on the right path when he's doing something stupid.
And it came up with this.
Miss Amanda Crenshaw, 17, hair blonde, eyes hazel, West Coast surfing champion for the past 3 years. And she deserves better than you.
Just the statistics, please. Never mind the editorial comments.
He always has his back when everyone else is against him. And you can tell they have a very close relationship, like when Pierce was risking everything to catch Cat, and Riley, with his super intelligence, like threw him off the cliff.
Did you say destroyed?
Precisely.
You wouldn't.
Oh, of course I would.
How can you be so cold and cruel? You must have a calculator for a heart. What am I saying?
Farewell, foolish toy. Oh no, he wouldn't. He did. I've got to catch him.
Oh dear, this is most distressing.
I just hope I'm in time.
I hope you don't mind, but I'm about to do something quite un-British, and it's this. Help!
Gotcha. Cad, are you all right? Speak to me. Tell me you're okay, please.
I will if you'll stop shaking me. I'm a computer, not a malted milk machine.
Oh, Cad.
Cut that out. I'm not an electric razor either.
I'm sorry, Cad. It's just that I'm so happy that you're all right. Come to think of it, that's pretty incredible.
I'll tell you something even more incredible.
What's that?
I used to think that you were the most pompous twit in the entire world.
And now?
I believe Radley has just taken that title away from you.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
So, because of that, I'm gonna put him in everything sugar and spice, everything nice. She's just bored. She has an actual name, and I saw it, but I forgot it, so she's just going by switchboard. Or it's just your local gossip girl, and that's pretty much it. She does have an episode centered around her where she learns that she shouldn't spread fake news to get a bigger story. But after that, she just goes back to what she usually does. So I'm just gonna put her in, where's switchboard at? Oh, here she is. Plain banana, add a little spice. Chester McTagg is Switchboard's little brother, and according to the Bible, he's 12 years old.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
This is just your typical boy genius making gadgets. But running theme in the show up to a certain point was that he never had any dates when he got old really quick, to me at least. He also tends to do what's asked of him, maybe because he looks up to the older kids, I think. So I'm just gonna put him with his sister in Plain Banana. He's just Chester. Based on the pitch Bible, Julie was planned since the beginning, but she doesn't appear until almost halfway through the series, and even then she doesn't get that many episodes. She is Chris's younger sister and has a crush on Troy. Wants to go out with him despite being from what it looks like 9 years old.
Troy?
Oh, yes! Oh, isn't he the hunkiest babe you've ever seen?
Are you out of your mind? The guy is 10 years older than you.
Oh, that's all right. I'll lie about my age.
What did he say?
I thought she was the same age as Chester, but that's not the case. Even though she doesn't appear much, she does end up being Chester's love interest, or his friend, so he doesn't complain about having no dates. It's not that I hate her, it's that she's given a very strong bratty kid vibes, what I guess was the case, but slightly annoying. So I'm just gonna put her in the pot and the kettle tier, but not that high. I just find her annoying. Bradley's original name was Wipeout, which reminds me of the mascot from Stoked. If you know, you know. You can't really be mad at Bradley if he's just a himbo who loves surfing. Though that can sometimes cloud his judgment. He tends to go with what everyone else is doing, but it's not to the point where it's annoying. And he's one half of my favorite ship, so he's going in Plain Banana. Back to the pitch Bible. It says Tara was supposed to be flirtatious, but I'm so happy that they scrapped that. In the show, she's generally kind and tries her best to see the good in everyone, but she does her own thing. I also love her voice and outfit.
I needed that. Excuse me a moment.
This is ridiculous. I'm never going to get any homework done.
Hello? Oh, hi, Daddykins. What? Heavens to Hepzibah! Everything? Oh,
Daddy! Tara, what's wrong?
Some long-lost snake of a relative has just crawled out of the lilacs and claimed our family fortune.
Who's her voice actor? If I forgot, I didn't write it down. Someone's voice actor was someone from Sailor Moon. I'll put on the screen who it was.
The voice actor was Karen Bernstein, who voiced Sailor Mercury in the Canadian Sailor Moon. She voices Ta-Ra, and unfortunately Jet as well.
But anyway, and she's the other part of my ship with Radley. So I'm gonna put her in Sugar and Spice. Everything nice. Now, on to Jet. Jet, to me, is a hypocrite. She gets mad at Gig for not dating her because he doesn't want to break with Dan, and hanging out with other girls. In one case, she might have been justified a little bit with the Nikki situation, but no. But for some reason, it's okay for her to drew over Troy and chase after Troy, even after learning that Troy likes Lark, who is her friend, I guess. She's always jumping to the worst conclusions when it comes to reasonable conclusions, and her voice is very grating, even though she has like the exact same voice actor as Tara. So I'm putting her in, where is she? Pot in the kettle, because I don't like her. Gig, previously I thought he was a good guy, but he's not as much of a nice guy as I remember, as he did string along Tara and Lark during a competition. He's one of the people that joined Bianca in trying to make theirs spend his $100. He also has to deal with Jet, so I'm gonna put in the pot and the kettle, but above her. And actually, I'm gonna move Troy to playing Banana at the very top, I think, because he's not as bad as everyone else. Girl, move.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just...
He's not as bad as everyone else in the kettle. Wait, yeah, I'm gonna leave him right there. Nikki is a drama queen, and I love her all the more for it. I think dressed up as an old woman to get into character and accidentally have her history teacher fall in love with her. I also love that she isn't afraid to put someone in their place when they're doing way too much, and she knows when someone's doing way too much because she's Nikki. I love her relationship with Buck as she humbles him. I don't ship them romantically, by the way. I just love their dynamic.
Amateurs! I'm working with rank amateurs!
Nikki, baby, honey, sweetie, what's wrong?
Don't baby, honey, sweetie me! You producer!
Oh, this is so juicy. I can't stand it.
Tell Bucky, baby. Talk.
Talk? I'll talk all right. You uncultured barbarians have no appreciation of the theater.
Can I quote you on that?
No, but I'm sure you will anyway.
You can take that to the bank.
What's wrong, Nikki? Tell Uncle Pierce all about it.
I was born to play Juliet. I was trained to play Juliet. I would die to play Juliet. But not in this nickel and dime operation. I quit!
Nikki, you mentioned nickels and dimes. What exactly are they?
I'm gonna put her loving you should be a crime. Buck Huckster. Buck is like the Scrooge McDuck before character development. He'll do anything to save money while trying to make more money despite being a millionaire. Well, his dad's a millionaire, but like, your money is my money. That's his mentality. A better comparison, I guess, would be Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob.
First of all, congratulations, Mr. Krabs.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money
doesn't appear that much in the series. When he does, it's always a fun ride because it brings back the fresh air as it goes away from the romantic drama. So I'm just gonna put him in sugar and spice everything nice. He knows what he wants and will spend as little as possible to get it, but in the series he does understand his actions have consequences and he starts to change himself. Blaze, she does appear in a lot of episodes, generally, but she's also isn't really the focus of most episodes. She was in that one episode. Yeah. But Blaze is the most normal out of everyone in the cast. She tends to do what she likes, which usually involves horses, and is very close with her friend Lark, and helping her get with Troy. He also is one of the few who thinks things out before jumping to conclusions or straight into anything actually. So I'm gonna put her in sugar and spice, everything nice. And then I wish we had seen more of her in the series because she's just an overall great character. Chanel is one of the few, she's the only black girl in the group, which I think is pretty common back then. I don't know, I wasn't born in the 80s. She's the de facto leader who tends to plan everything. She doesn't appear that often in the show, but from what I've seen, she's a bit of a perfectionist, but not to the point that it's controlling. She just like everything's to be organized and stuff, which is good. She's also willing to help her friends whenever they need her, so I'm just gonna put her in playing Banana. She's just a good person. There's not much to her. For Fifi, from the pitch bowl, she should have been a bigger deal than she actually was. On the top of my head, I remember her only being like 2 episodes. In the pitch Bible, it says she was supposed to be the mother figure to the kids, but she was barely in the show, other than in the background. I can't really form an opinion about her. I'm just gonna put her in no word. It's not because she's bad, but she just wasn't there, so I don't really know. I think we're done, but I'm just gonna do the pets real quick, because they're also in the episode, in the series. And then we have some episodes centered around them. Giara's the pet cat, the Lark, and I'm just gonna put wherein loving you should be a crime. Why? Because Empress is it's a dog to Bianca, and you haven't figured out the dynamic. It's the same way with owners. Empress attacks Tiara when she's just vibing by herself, doing nothing. He looks like Berdine's dog from the Brat Show, if you know. I'm going to put him in plain banana, but the episodes where they fell in love because of the clothes was kind of interesting. It was a side plot because they just running around, but it was interesting. Is Empress a boy? I might have misgendered the dog. Anyway, and that's it. If you rate them differently, comment down below, or if you have episodes to recommend, comment down below.
Don't go away. Beverly Hills Teens will be right back. Phew. What a scoop. We're back.
Maybe not. I'm gonna move on to some theories I have. I'm not that big. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything. Well, I don't think these guys are friends. I don't know how rich kids' friends work, but I don't think they're friends. Of course, there are friends within the friend group, like Larkin, Blaze, Troy, Riley, and Pierce sometimes. As a whole, I think they're just douchebags to each other. I believe they only hang out together because no one else at the teen club or in their school wants to hang out with them because they're messy. They're messy.
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am.
Also, I have this other theory that Bianca was poor and came into. Well, she wasn't poor, but her parents got bankrupt. I don't know how bankruptcy works, but her parents lost all their money, and she was poor for a while, and then they got their money back. And the only person who was by her side during that time was Wilshire, and that's why she doesn't like the lower class or the lower district. She doesn't want to be reminded of the time, basically. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. The show was canceled December 18th, 1987, with no clear reason as to why. After its original run, the series continued to be broadcasted as a part of a syndication package featuring rebroadcasts of Max's World and its Punky Brewster. In 1989, the series was nominated for a Youth in Film Award, now known as the Young Artist Award, or Best Animated Series, which is debatable. You kind of want to model multiple times, but whatever. And the Best Young Actress Award in voiceover role for Joanne Schellenberg. Sorry, girl, I've said your name wrong. The show was supposed to have a sports game set to release in March of the 1990s by a French studio, Tomahawk. The game was cancelled because it didn't meet expected quality standards. For the gameplay, it had a aerobic test where the players would have to follow moves of a dancer while doing it progressively faster, a hamburger car that was outside a snack bar where the player goes into a food fight at a parking lot by throwing hamburgers and french fries, and a stolen letter, which the gameplay is relatively unknown, but it seems would have been centered around a robbery at a Hollywood mansion. Perry Guhitz, it was a character designer, had this to say on a Facebook fan page. More quotes. My art, the concept, everything was junk. I actually really like this show and would recommend it, especially if you want the drama without it being the levels of Gloria or Ginny and Georgia. Also, just has some slice of life fun. It doesn't have to be relatable. You can just be having fun. Slice of life fun isn't really seen that much in Western animation nowadays at the time of this recording. From what I saw, the show did have their resurgence in certain parts of the world. Oh, I also have a... Is everyone gone? Everyone's gone? Okay. For those of you who stayed to the end of the video, this is a secret message. I'm holding an art raffle where you can receive art drawn by me, and there are 3 slots available. To join, you have to have a Discord, as this makes it easier, or join my Discord. That's not a requirement though. It's a Discord in general. In the comments, you have to name my 2 mascots, Sleepyhead and Mr. Grumpy over here. Just these 2. With the hashtag, it's Banana Noir time. Don't worry if you missed the raffle, as you can always stack those discounts and commission me down below. We'll wait until the next raffle, as I have many mascots for this channel. If you see my Instagram, you'll see them, but I haven't released them. I like to see you smile, so have a damn good day.